everybody, it's Kirsten Hart. This is Cabin Chat from our cabin here in Branson, Missouri. And I have one of my sweetest friends in the world, Deanna Malespin, all the way from Tiberius, Israel. Welcome, Deanna.
Hello, hello.
I,
Shalom from the Galilee.
I hope you know it shouldn't be something that I am, but I'm very jealous of where you are right now because we haven't been able to get to Israel in over a year, but you're surviving. You look good.
It's too long. We really want all of you to come back. Israel misses all the beautiful friends that we have.
It must be really quiet up in the Galilee right now without all the
So
tourists.
quiet, too quiet. And there's just so many people that are waiting for you guys to come. And I know there's been lots of tours that have been canceled, but we're really hoping that the borders will open soon.
We did too, and we will be back because Zola Tours is one of our favorite things to go to the Galilee area where you live. How long have you lived up in Galilee?
We have been here about 7 years, I think. Yeah.
And you do so much. I know you work with your husband, Chaim Malespin, that we all love on the program, and you work at the Aliyah Return Center, but you're also an author. How many books have you written?
So in the last couple of years, I've been working on a book called I Am Miriam. Somehow between diapers and kids, I was able to take some time here and there to write. And you want me to share more about it?
Please tell me about, like, how did you think I'm going to write a book about Miriam?
So I actually turned on a cartoon for one of the children, and there was Mary, and she had a broom in her hand, and she was sweeping. And I'm like, she was just a woman, and I could relate to her because I sweep my floor, she sweeps her floor, I sweep my floor, and then all of a sudden I was just felt so inspired, and a whole story came to me. So this is like biblical fiction story about her. I follow the outline that's in the Bible, but there's so much that is not really talked about or it's not written in, so I kind of went between the lines. And just like even the fact that she was engaged to Joseph, and if you think about it, Joseph, he was engaged, and then his fiance comes to him and says, hey, I'm pregnant, and it's from the Lord. And I'm pretty sure if you read the story, it was a lot of surprise, and it was a lot of drama, and heartache, and she was probably afraid for her life, because back in if in the context of the Jewish law, she could have been stoned for being pregnant like out of wedlock.
Right.
So I kind of bring in the context of the culture and of Israel, and even like Joseph's story, as he was from like the line of the kings. Like the angel told him, like, you are, Joseph. The angel called him like son of David, and that is part of the lineage that Yeshua came from, is like from as a son of David.
We have learned so much. I was going to say, we have learned so much on our program. And we grew up in church. We're like church babies. And we're not taught a lot about Jewish culture and the Jewish family, just because the church doesn't do that a whole lot. And so I know in your book, you've brought out some of the Jewish culture aspects of Mary's life. What are maybe a couple things that, should I say, regular church goers wouldn't know about Mary's life that you've learned about from living in Israel and being in the culture?
Well, even just like, for example, she would have to go to the mikvah every time it was that time of month. She would go to the mikvah, or the food, and also like being here in Israel, the type of foods that she would eat. And also when during Passover, a lot of people make a pilgrimage to Jerusalem for different feasts. and one of them being Passover, and just how the whole process of even, going up into the temple, like you had to go into the mikvah again, and then you had to ascend all of these stairs, and it was like different parts of the temple, and just, the feelings of, taking that little lamb that was in your home for 3 days and bringing it to the temple. And there's just so much, and it's like, so I feel like it really enriches the story and makes it so fresh and exciting.
Now explain, some people don't know what the mikvah is. Can you explain that real quick? I do, but just real quick. Someone is like, what is that word? What did Deanna just say?
So sorry about that. So mikvah
no, and I do, and most of our people probably watching do know what that is, but just in case they don't.
Okay, so mikvah is kind of like, you do like a little baptism almost, where you go and you submerge yourself in water, and it makes you ceremonially clean.
And women had to do that monthly, correct? To cleanse themselves and that kind of thing.
And when they went into the temple to do their work, and even before entering the temple, you had to go through the mikvah. And yeah, it was really, it was like a regular part of life.
So here's a quick question. I don't know, I don't want to go too long, and it's probably mostly in your book, but this is just a girl thing. So when you're pregnant, you wouldn't have to go to the mikvah to be cleansed monthly, right? So that would have changed for Mary.
Right.
Pregnant.
So I think that's also, like, I think one of the ways that you could tell if someone is pregnant or not is, they stop going. They stop going to the mikvah. They're like, oh, so
something's up. So do you write about that in your book? If she continued to go, if she stopped going? That's very interesting.
Yeah, because like nowadays, or for, in our day and age, it's about, she didn't drink the glass of wine. But then in that in like Mary's time, it would have been like, she hasn't gone to the mikvah this month.
Oh no, this is so good. And I haven't read your book yet. I apologize about that. I want to.
Right.
And it's easy to get. How does someone get a hold of your book?
So you can find it on Amazon, and it's called, you just type in I Am Miriam, and you could get an ebook or you could order a hard copy.
Well, I'd like to tell everybody that's watching this, please go buy this book. Right now, we can't financially support Israelis that in Israel, obviously, like we usually do on tour, but we can still support you. And we would love to buy all your books up and read about your wonderful insight. And our ministry loves you and your husband and your whole family. You guys are adorable. I love watching you guys on social media.
Thank you so much.
And we just thank you so much for coming on Cabin Chat and sharing your heart. And you're this famous author, and we know you now.
Oh, right. We'll see.
Well, shalom.
Slowly.
And we love you. Thanks so much, Deanna.